Hello, great afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Coaching Think Talk. I am Coach Joya from Life Coach Philippines, and this is Coaching for Relationshift. This coaching conversation is for moms, wives, and women who are wanting to have a balance on healthy lifestyle and healthy relationship to a happier life. And my mission is to help married women or women in partnership to be the suitable helper of their husband to create a safe mental and emotional space for a family that thrives. So thank you for joining me live today. And please leave your digital footprints by letting us know where you're coming from. And please do tag a friend and circulate this video to help us reach more individuals who might be in need of what I will be sharing for you this session. You may also give some shout outs to people you want to greet and reach out with some inspiring message. Malay mo yung message mo today would give them a lift. Maybe they feel sad today, or maybe there's a lot of distractions that's happening with them, and your message will give them that certain light. So do this. Do it. Pag naisip mo siya, then send out that message. If you are watching this on a replay, please do comment hashtag replay. And I am streaming via FB page of Life Coach Philippines and YouTube channel Coach AI Connect. So if you are new to our platform, please like, follow, and subscribe to the said pages. So for this afternoon, I'm gonna be talking to you about stretch your way to a great emotional connection. Ano nga ba ang emotional connection? Gaano ba siya ka-importante sa mga relationships natin? Like, emotional connection, they say, is the bond that keeps the marriage together or any relationship together. Hindi lang siya sa mag-asawa, pwede din sa magkapatid, sa parents mo, and your relationship, of course, with your friends or colleagues. It is the glue that keeps the bond or that keeps those relationships together. So for those of you joining me for the first time but before that, hello Lady Jen, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Syempre, dalaw ka sa DCAP. If you can join us on Thursday, we would be excited to welcome you. Syempre, may libre kang kape sa akin, di ba? And of course, Coach Mao, my Coach AP, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. And for those of you, if this is the first time you're seeing me, I'm Coach Teen. I have two kids. They're now teenagers. So this was our picture taken when we got wed in 2013. Yung church wedding namin yan. But we are married for 19 years. Nauna yung civil. And I am also married to a certified life coach. Most of you know him as Coach Sean. And of course, tara lang, mali ata yung click ko. And of course, my family hails from, we're originally from Bicol. That's Legazpi City. That's where our family started before we moved here in Manila. Diba? Pag galing kang probinsya, mostly ang iniisip mo is how you can really bring more to your family, especially when it comes to the finances. So we moved over here. We decided to move here. Nauna kasi si Coach Sean mag-move ng Manila. So we followed suit as well. I was previously an HR practitioner. I was part of one of the biggest BPO in the country, and I was part of the HR umbrella. So I work as a global help desk or IT. So medyo may background din ako ng IT, but hindi ganun ka ano yung alam ko sa IT. It's more of the system that we are using. And I got certified in 2018, and I am also a co-active, co-create life coach from Life Coach Philippines. Bakit ba ako nag-certify? There's really a story to it. It was a time na medyo naghanap ako ng something that could fulfill me. So, okay naman yung relationships, okay naman yung mga kids, okay yung work, but there's something missing. So, what started out as a search for, gusto ko lang sana mag-transition ng work noon. So, what started out as something na parang gusto mag-career shift, na uwi siya sa life coaching, and of course, I am not regretting it. It's the greatest profession that made me who I am today. And of course, I'm also a proud scholar of Master Coach A for the 6 steps to six-figure speaking career. So if you're someone who wanted to do public speaking but you're afraid or hindi mo alam kung paano ka magsisimula, then connect with us. We would help you build that we would help you and make you into a public speaker. I know it works. I'm a product of it. Ang dami naming natutunan doon sa. So if you're interested, just send me a message or any of the coaches on the chat box that you can see now. And of course, I am also the woman behind, the founder behind a Women's Epiphany Coaching Community. This is it's what started out, of course, sa lahat naman ng relationships, may pagdadaanan ka. And in our relationship, there was a moment where I was at my lowest, there was a betrayal, but that betrayal helped me discover who I am now. So, hindi naman po lahat ng pagdadaanan mo ay magiging pangit na memory nila. You can always get something positive out of it. And how you see me now is all actually a result of that. So if you're interested, join us in life coaching. We have an upcoming certification this July 24, August 7, July 31, and August 7. So yun yung 3 days life business bootcamp with Master Coach A. So if you're interested to join us sa life coach certification, you still have time to enroll. All you have to do is connect with Coach Rizel at 0917-586-1661. And for this afternoon, we're gonna be talking about emotional connection. At syempre, kung pag-uusapan natin ng emotional connection, kailangan muna nating pag-usapan ang emosyon. So what is really an emotion? Emotion is a complex psychological state that invokes 3 distinct components: a subjective experience, a physiological experience or response, and a behavioral or expressive response. Ang emotion kasi ay depende kung paano mo siya tinitingnan, no? But all of us have this emotion, of course. Hindi naman imposibleng walang emosyon ang isang tao. Pwedeng subdued lang yung feelings mo, pero there is always an emotion to a person. Pag sinabi mong subjective, it's more of emotions that is very basic or basic universal emotions that we all experience regardless of your background, your culture, your parang background, race or culture. So for example, 'di ba pag galit ka, lahat naman ng tao sa mundo nagagalit, 'di ba? Because it's a very common emotion. And when you say it's physiological, it's more of bodily. For example, di ba, pag halimbawa, you're gonna be doing a presentation, you have that butterfly feeling in your stomach. So parang nag-churn yung stomach mo. So there you feel anxious, nagpapalpitate yung heart mo. So that is more on the physiological response to emotion. And of course, the behavioral, it's more on your how you actually express the emotion. So for example, it's your ability to really accurately describe or kasi nga sa emotional connection, it has to be clear. Wala pong emotional connection kung wala kang emosyon. Mahirap po talaga yon. Kahit naman siguro paano mo gawin, mahirap yun, di ba? So, emotional connection needs, of course, the emotion that you have. And when it comes to emotional connection, ano nga ba ang emotional connection? Let's talk about emotional connection. Emotional connection, remember, relationships cannot thrive without an emotional connection between partners. So whether you are married, whether it's a relationship between your parents, your mom, your dad, magkaiba din kasi ang level ng emotion nun and the emotional connection that you have. Your siblings, your friends, your colleagues, iba-iba ang level ng emotions yan. But there would always be that emotional connection. So an emotional connection is actually a bundle of subjective feelings that come together to create a bond between 2 people. So it's actually a bond between 2 people. Regardless kung asawa mo yan, kapatid mo, nanay, tatay mo, kaibigan. So that's it. And it's also the ability to have deep, substantial conversations about things you'd struggle to talk to just anyone about, like your feelings, friends or family, entanglements, etc. So, kung may emotional connection ka sa isang tao, mas madaling mag-open up. It's easier to really express your feelings, or kung may problema, may sitwasyon, it's easy to really express. So, pag may emotional connection. And of course, it's also a feeling of alignment and intimacy between two people that goes beyond physical attraction. So kung mag-asawa naman kayo, it's really more of, or nasa relationship kayo na like boyfriend-girlfriend, it's more than the physical attraction that you have. Mas deeper yung emotional connection mo. And we're talking about, kasi pag sinabi mo kasing relationship, it's how you are really looking at the relation. Kasi, di ba, ang tao naman, depende sa level kung ano nga, meron kasi tayong tinatawag na emotional bank. Ano ba yung emotional bank? The emotional bank, parang siyang emotional bank account na you deposit love. Pag wala ka daw, this was actually described or first used by Stephen Covey in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Parang ginamit niya tong metaphor. But really, come to think of it, kahit si John Gottman, who is, Dr. John Gottman, who is one of the psychologists who have been studying ng 5 decades na, more than 5 decades, yung couples, he says that it's really important that you have that emotional bank account. And this emotional bank account is hindi lang siya nung ngayon na may karelasyon ka na, but it starts from your childhood, from the time that you were born. So, mag-uumpisa yung emotion, yung pag, it starts with the trust. So, mag-uumpisa yung how you, the deposit of love from your parents, from your caregivers, yung mga unang taong nakasalamuha mo. So, if that emotional bank account is not filled sa childhood, nag-iiba din yung responses natin when we are growing up. And it would be also hard for us to have that emotional connection with others. Or lagi kang guarded, lagi kang, or it's either you are guarded, you wall up, depende. And at times, you won't even trust to give, parang at your end, you won't even trust or give that love na ikaw ay magdi-deposit din ng love sa ibang tao. Because it affected the way you think, the way you feel when you were still a child, kung hindi na fill up talaga yung emotional bank account mo. This is the emotional bank account is one of the most powerful and graphic concepts to date on building relationships based on trust. Mag-i-start kasi siya sa trust. When you trust the person, when you trust someone, you allow yourself to experience that love, and you are also able to give out that love. And the basic tenet of this emotional bank account is that anyone who works or relates with you, or anyone, the account begins a neutral balance. It's just as if para kang nag-deposit lang talaga sa bank. You can deposit and then you can withdraw anytime. However, hindi monetary yung terms niya. It's more of the emotional units. So it's what we call emotional units when you deposit in the emotional bank account. And there are 3 keys to emotional connection. Ano nga ba yung 3 keys na yon? The keys to emotional connection, of course, starts with you acknowledging that there is a problem. So why is it important, or what makes it important that you acknowledge that there is a problem? Acknowledging that there is a problem is a good start to build up your emotional connection. For example, if feelings of loneliness, sadness, anger, or fear are troubling you, then you may be experiencing emotional disconnection. Ibig sabihin, nagdi-disconnect ka na. And most relationship will have this feelings at some point in their relationship. So, hindi lahat ng relasyon laging okay. May moments na at times you will be disconnected. Like kami ni Coach, even if we're both coaches, there are moments that we emotionally disconnect, especially pag madami siyang iniisip or ako din, madaming ginagawa, busy din. So nagkakaroon ng moments na hindi kami nag-uusap. So it's actually an emotional disconnection. The marker for emotional disconnect would be that you're either continually experiencing feelings that, for example, sa mag-asawa, you are either lagi kang unavailable, hindi ka makausap pag gusto makipag-usap sa'yo ng asawa mo, ayaw mo. Or indifferent, parang pag nilapitan ka na, lagi ka na lang parang galit. Or it can be unemotional. Pag may kwenento ka, parang poker face lang. Lagi ko itong sinasabi kay Coach on dati, parang masyado ka kasing insensitive. Ayan. So, insensitive naman yung term ko. Yung parang, when I say something, parang hindi niya naririnig or at naririnig niya pero wala siya doon sa moment na. Dati naiinis ako lagi pag ganun eh. Kasi it's a way that you are emotionally disconnecting with the person. So you may be having these experiences too. So if you feel like this describes your marriage or any of your relationship, then it's time maybe that you acknowledge the problem and start working on it. Second is, of course, the safe zone. Be intentional about creating a safe zone for emotional connection. And yung emotion, yung safe zone kasi is for you to be able to let the person just express without fear, without judgment, or without the fixer mentality. And about being intentional really of creating that safe space. So if you sense, for example, that in your relationship or for example, sa marriage, it's becoming emotionally disconnected, then start by getting it back on track. You might try to begin a conversation with your spouse about your thoughts, about the state of your marriage. But of course, you have to come from a space nga of no judgment, na it's free to express. So being gentle and kind in your approach. Hindi yung, uy, mag-usap nga tayo. Ano bang problema natin? So magti-trigger na agad yung emotions nyo. And it would cause more emotional disconnection between the two of you. So be sensitive with your tone and words. This will, of course, help to ward off defensiveness and withdrawal. Kaya ka nga nag-create ng safe zone eh, para mas madali ang pag-uusap. Mas malinaw at hindi, walang judgment. Sabi nga ni Coach, ni Lady Jen, connecting. Yeah, kasi pag nag-create ka ng safe zone, it's okay to express. At ang importante kasi sa safe zone is you also allow yourself to be in that moment na you are also able to accept any feedback. So pag may safe zone, kaya mo yung feedback. Pero pag wala, you will be defensive, mag-aaway lang kayo. And that would be also one of the keys na hindi kayo magiging emotionally connected. Kaya nga natin inaayos, kaya nga natin dinidefine ano bang emotional connection. Kasi come to think of it, karamihan ng marriages, nag-uumpisa naman yan na maayos. But as we go along in your relationship, even with your parents, kasi remember, you are a unique individual. Kahit galing ka pa sa parents mo, there would always be something different about you. And of course, it will also depend on the influences that you have. Sabi nga, tell me the average 5 people that you are always with para masabi ko kung ano ka. So it also affects the way you perceive things, the way you connect, the way you respond. So creating that emotional safe zone will allow you to be emotionally connected. And of course, ask heartfelt questions. Kasi kung nakikipag-usap ka nga, pero yung tanong mo, parang nagtanong ka, pero alam mo yung terms yung sabi, labas sa ilong, edi parang hindi ka concerned, wala pa ding emotional connection doon. So asking heartfelt questions establishes a good time to talk, wherein you can begin to share your thoughts. So when you feel safe, you can ask some deeper questions para may conversation. Yung conversation kasi sa atin, minsan yung pag tinanong mo lang, oh, kumusta kayo? Okay naman, nag-uusap naman kami. Pero yung pag-uusap nila is mababaw lang. Parang tinanong kung kumusta, tinanong kung kumusta yung araw, anong ginagawa, anong pinagkakabisihan, anong yung mga gusto, ganito, ganyan. Mga mabababaw lang, but never really came into a deeper conversation of how the person sees the future, ano ba yung gusto niya pa, meron pa ba siyang mga nasa bucket list niya na hindi na, basta deeper converse, it's really very different. Dati nung hindi pa ako coach, parang nag-uusap naman kami, nagkakantuhan naman kami. But really, yung mga usapan pala namin is mababaw. Unlike ngayon na mas deeper conversation na yung meron kami. Remember, every person wants to know that they can find a source of comfort in the person they're connecting with. So, as C.S. Lewis once said, to love is to be vulnerable. So kung may trust, may love dun sa relationship, the emotional connection is easy because it's easier also for you to ask good questions, yung heartfelt questions that it will really show that you are interested with the well-being of the person. Yung kahit sa tingin mo, judgment, for example, kung in between partners, you ask, do you love me? Di ba, like ako, ayokong pag tinatanong ako ng ganun, parang, kailan ko ba bang sagutin yan? Andito pa nga ako. But really, come to think of it, if you were asked that question, especially by your spouse, mag-iisip ka, yung, ano na nga ba yung definition ko ng love? Kung dati, nung nag-start kami, ano yung love sa akin. Pero ngayon, na madami na kaming pinagdaan. Parang you get into a reflective mode of the journey of your relationship. So when you answer na, do you love me? Madami ka ng realization. Yung feeling na the person can rely on you, being there with you whenever needed, or pag na-stress siya, kaya mong ibigay yung comfort, or how much you value your relationships, dumadating na kayo sa ganung conversation. And as we always say, we are created by God to live in relationship with one another. First to God, and secondary to each other. And of course, our marriage represents one of the most sacred of all relationships. So you have to share deep emotional connection, which is the glue that holds your marriage together. And if you are not yet married, take a look at your relationship. How are you emotionally connected to the people around you? Your parents, your siblings, your kids, your friends, your colleagues. What's your emotional connection with them? But it's really important that we focus on the emotional connection of the people that matters to us. Whether they are family by blood, by consanguinity, or affinity. So, I'll give you ways on how you can establish an emotional connection. Paano nga ba talaga magkakaroon ng emotional connection sa isang tao? If you want the healthiest relationship possible, learn how to establish a strong emotional connection with a person or with the people around you. With this in place, all others will naturally flow. And so here's some ways how you can start building that or establishing that emotional connection. First is to study your partner. Your partner might be your husband, your parents, your siblings. Understand what they need and what they want from life and you. This means you are paying close attention when they talk. Look past the words and into the heart where they harbor secrets they want to share. Ito kasi yung deep conversation eh. Minsan kasi when we talk with them, we just listen. Listen na, okay, in passing. Kumbaga, narinig mo dito, nilabas mo sa kabilang tenga. But really, having that deep conversation. Lahat naman ng relationship, if you want it to last, na kahit hindi kayo magkita ng ilang buwan, ilang taon, the memory of that friendship or the memory of that emotional connection would still be there because you were able to develop the trust in the relationship, which is, of course, the second way that you can establish your emotional connection. Developing a sense of trust. Trust is actually a building block of an emotion. And it's not easy, it's not overnight. It takes time to develop that secure feelings with another person. So, let your trust build naturally. Wag mong madaliin. Allow it to flourish in the relationship. Third is your emotional availability. So, you must be emotionally available at parehas kayo. Hindi pwedeng ikaw lang. If you hold back in any way, that means you are not opening up to the possibilities of a strong connection. Hindi pwedeng one way. It has always to be two ways. Kasi pag one way lang siya, there's a tendency to be abused. And there will be no emotional connection at all. Parang, di ba, if you remember on the last talks that I've had, at times it's what we tolerate is what we allow. So kung dumadating ka sa point na you're abused, it's because you also allowed it. Kaya nga dapat yung emotional connection nyo to be developed, both of you has to have that emotional availability as well. Then show affection. Affection is something na it's really different from the emotional availability. It's more of you connecting to the person affectionately. Like, at times, it's important that you know the 5 love languages. Dun kasi nanggagaling yung affection. Kung paano mo siya, how you will use that love language to respond to the person. So, it might be a good morning kiss if between husband and wife. You hold hands, you hug. So, depende kung ano yung level ng relationship na meron ka. Like, with your brothers and sisters, how do you show affection? To your parents, how do you show affection to them? And another way to establish emotional connection is, of course, fighting fair. No relationship is exempted from any fights. Lahat naman, kasi meron tayong moods. We have those emotions, we have those moods. And oftentimes, there are moments na hindi din tayo okay. So in the midst of, let's say there's an argument, there are an exchange of words, accusations, at times, pag hindi tayo lumaban ng patas, nawawala yung emotional connection. If it's not helping you, or if you're not available, or you're not sure of how it is, then talk to us, talk to our life coach so that we can help you identify or know what really, tingnan natin, ano ba yung pinanggagalingan ng away nyo, ng galit mo, at bakit ganyan ka nagre-respond. Kasi, like, for example, in a married relationship, when there's an argument and, like, we bring up the past, at times, this causes the emotional disconnection. Kasi hindi siya a fair fight. So, for example, di ba, in a betrayal, pag naalala mo siya, sasabihin mo lagi, kasi naman dati ng babae ka, ganito, ganyan. So, hindi siya fair kasi there's like, you're guilt-tripping the person, nagkamali na nga yung person but you agreed to work it out. So, hindi na kailang ulit-ulitin. So, if you kung lagi mo siyang gagawin, that would be losing the emotional connection. So, one way really to establish that emotional connection is for the both of you to be able to fight fair. And of course, see the world through his or her eyes or through their eyes. Stay in the moment and of course, try to see the world as he does or as she does. Ano nga ba yung na-discover? Yung perspective. Step back, pause, and then see the perspective of the other person. This will allow you to, para kang it's more of empathizing with the person so that you know how it feels. Instead na you react to situations, then stop and try to imagine if you are in their shoes. so that you can also expect them to do the same. Mas madaling yung maiintindihan ngayon yung bawat isa kung ganun nyo din titingnan kung ano man yung sitwasyon na meron kayong dalawa. And finally, overcome the obstacles. In overcoming the obstacles, remember couples in faltering marriages often have pressing issues that needs to be solved before an emotional connection can be established again. And it's not just between couples. It's also, kung halimbawa nagkagalit kayo ng parents mo, ng kapatid mo, ng friend mo, magkakaroon din kayo ng emotional disconnection. So what you can do really is define the problem together and then find solution to alleviate or eliminate the obstacle. Magtulungan kayo to work on how you can overcome the obstacle. And once both of you are able to overcome you are able to conquer the obstacles, then you can begin rebuilding the lost emotional connection. Kasi when there's an argument, it causes an emotional disconnection. So these 7 ways will help you establish that emotional connection. So kung kayo ng husband mo, kayo ng friend mo, or ng any family member is in a state wherein hirap kayo to emotionally connect kasi mas umiiral yung galit kung halimbawa may pinag-awayan kayo at times hindi mo na nga alam kung saan galing yung galit, then talk to us. You can drop by at the Cup Coffee Republic. We are open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Even the people serving you are life coaches. So you will be able to really express take advantage na mas maganda kasi minsan na hindi mo talaga parang third party perspective yung kausap mo eh. Kasi they are able to see things that you don't see. They're able to point out na this is how you're feeling. Pero ikaw kasi makaka-discover nun through the conversation. So if you're someone na feeling mo you're emotionally disconnected with your friends, tapos you are beating yourself kasi feeling mo may mali ka dahil hindi ka makapag-connect, then let's talk. Let's have a conversation. You can message me, of course, on my Facebook page or my group or also on my mobile number. Or better yet, see us at DCAP. I'm usually there at 7, on Thursdays, usually on Thursdays. Although you can also request for a different day. I can also meet you there. So thank you so much, everyone. And of course, for those of you, I'm going to have a second round of my Regaining Me, a coaching workshop to discover and regain yourself, your momentum, and your passion. So it's going to be all Sundays. I will be updating the date. So just connect with me at 0917-806-4200. I just need 10 students to be able to do that, to run it the second time. And of course, I'm inviting you to a free talk. I will be conducting a free 90-minute coaching workshop about 3 ways to banish infidelity forever. So, hindi po ibig sabihin na dumaan ka na sa infidelity, so hindi na ako mag-aatay. It's really more of educating ourselves. What are the ways that we can prevent what are the ways that we can prevent ourselves from experiencing infidelity? Yung alamin na natin, doon na tayo sa preventive, wag na nating antayin na dumating tayo dun sa intervention. Ibig sabihin nangyari na. So, let's go first into the awareness and the prevention so that it would be easier for you to really build that emotional connection in your relationship. Find my post in my timeline. You can take a look at my timeline or send me a message if you are interested to join me in this free 90-minute coaching workshop. And, syempre, kakatapos lang namin nung Saturday ng Mental Model Masterclass about 80-20 rule. And it's really something, no? Ang ganda nung 80-20 rule na yun eh. It's really applicable in all areas of your life. Dati, ang concept ko ng 80-20, applicable lang siya pag halimbawa may work ka because it's more of how you do your 80% 80-20 pagdating sa work application. But it's not. It is applicable in all areas of your... At sobrang ganda yung value talaga nung learnings doon sa 80-20 rule. At doon ko din na-realize na may 80-20 negative rule pala. An example of that would be, it's like you're giving your 80% in all the relationships that you have, but you're only getting 20% result. At minsan, pangit pa yung mga result. What if you can give the 20% effort, but you get 80% result? An example would be, for example, you have like a toxic relationship. May friend ka na pag may kailangan na sa'yo, saka ka naaalala. Pag hindi ka na kailangan, wala na ulit. Tapos ikaw, hirap na hirap ka to accept na bakit siya ganun? Or minsan, tapos hindi mo din matiis. Then maybe you are not really fit for that environment. So letting go of that friendship, like 20% effort, parang andyan lang siya, okay, pero hindi ka na nakafocus sa kanya. That would give you 80% result because mas kampante ka na, mas kalmado ka mag-isip, mas maayos yung response mo. So that's just one application that you can do. So if you are not yet a smart holder of Bill Learning Card, so join us, be a mental model collector, join us, and be part of the Bill Learning Society, the 10th maker of Bill Learning Homes for Mental Fitness. As a Bill Learning e-card holder, you'll enjoy 5% food and beverage discount from Decaf Coffee Republic, full access pass to the live monthly mental model class by Master Coach A, plus a 90-minute free coaching session with senior coaches from Life Coach Philippines. And if you are new to the concept of mental model, a mental model is an explanation of how something works. It is a concept, framework, or worldview that you carry around in your mind to help you interpret the world and understand the relationship between things. Mental models are deeply held beliefs about how the world works. It's actually how your mind works din. Parang, bakit ka ba minsan meron kang situation na ganito ka mag-isip? So why are mental models important? Because by building up a base of the most valuable and universal mental models, you are building up your trunks of knowledge that you can use for the rest of your life. Mental models are a critical category of knowledge that gets more relevant over time and can be applied across a wide array of different domains. And the next mental model class is this coming August 21. So excited na kami actually because the Mental Model Masterclass is about polymaths mental model. Hindi po siya lahat math ha. Dati kasi concept ko din, polymath, so lahat numbers? No, it's not. Learn how you can combine skills and become the superstars in your field. Discover why the polymaths will win this 21st century. So register now. Connect with Coach Rizel through 0917-586-1661. Ano ba kasi yung polymath? Ibig sabihin, di ba at times merong tao na ang daming skill na hindi mo na alam kung anong gusto niyang gawin? So, at sinasabi natin, focus ka lang sa isa. What if you are able to use all that skills and be the superstar in your field? So, this is an exciting class, and we hope to see you on August 21 for the Mental Model Masterclass. And of course, thank you everyone for joining me this afternoon. And as I end this conversation, I'd like to invite you, of course, to our, to our co-actively co-create life coaching certification program. This certification, if you're someone who wants to embark on a journey of becoming a certified life coach like us, or you want to be a game changer, Master Coach Ace offers this program, which is a comprehensive approach to learning and mastering life coaching as an active process of creating a new path to achieving results in life. And so that success is inevitable in every coaching relationship. So of course, it includes a 21-day online learning journey. So yung online journey na yon, it's an app online app where you get the readings, the resources, and some things that you have to do para kang may assign, para ka nag-online class. And then you get to have a 3-day life coaching bootcamp with Master Coach. This is a coaching bootcamp that you shouldn't miss. Yung 3 days na to is very important because, of course, the 21 days is foundational. The 3-day life coaching bootcamp will now teach you the concepts, the models, and how you can use it. So may role playing na din pong involved. And the 3-day life business bootcamp by Team Kape. Yung business bootcamp naman is more of once you become a life coach, how can you monetize the profession? So we will teach you how, we will show you the concepts and what you need, what system do you need for you to, and of course the market that you have to reach out for you to be able to monetize from it. So this is an exciting certification. Do join us. Our next batch of certification, that is for class 3, we will have the first coaching bootcamp na live call this August 24. Then we have July 24, July 31, and then August 7. So if you're someone na malay mo baka ikaw din na isa dyan na nag-iisip na din ng career shift like me, then connect with us, connect with Coach Rizal at 0917-586-1661 for you to be able to join us in the upcoming certification. And as I end this conversation, let me also invite you to be part of what we are doing as an organization of professional certified life coaches. Do join us for another coaching conversation tomorrow, of course, with Coach Candy for coaching for mindful eating at 10 a.m., Coach Cherry for coaching for leap formation at 2 p.m., and Coach Rizal for coaching for purposeful living at 4 p.m. So stay tuned for more. See you again tomorrow for, of course, another episode of Life Coach. For the coaching think tank, nag-mimix na yung mga lives ko eh. So once again, this is Coach Tindy Joya from Life Coach Philippines for Coaching Think Talk. Coaches like us think and talk like this. This is us in the Philippines. Laugh, bam, boom. Laugh, bam, boom. Laugh, bam, boom. See you.